on the, click on there. Okay. Then you get. Okay, so as long as you click on the screen after you.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Fred. Let's give Fred a round of applause. All right, just a friendly reminder, this Friday, we have King of the Hill. It's gonna be at Ernie's Park up in Rolling Hills Estate this Friday, June 28th, 9 a.m. We already have the team in place, but what we need is the victory squad. All right, we're gonna take the championship this year. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. You had me a little worried there for a minute. We were this close. I think we took third place last year. Okay, and Remax was the one that took first place. I still believe that we could have taken last year, and the reason is because one of the coaches for Remax ended up being kicked out. Okay, that individual coach came back a second time and really just said some profanity, and I thought for sure they were going to disqualify the team, and they did not. So ultimately, they won by one home run and took the lead. So it's too bad, but I believe that this coming Friday we have a very solid players, and we're going to take the championship. So we would encourage, if you have time this Friday, 9 o'clock. Lunch will be provided as well. So we need as many KW agents, and it's both offices. It's the PD office and also the South Bay office. Okay. So who's committed to show up on Friday? Okay. All right. Awesome. It's going to be a fun time. Make sure to put some sunblock. It's going to be warm. Hydrate. Drink some water. And it's a great opportunity to also network with other agents as well. So looking forward to it. If you're interested in signing up, please make sure you scan, so that way we have a list of people that will be showing up. Any questions?
Let me get that.
Okay, I'll give you a few seconds to copy that code. Okay.
Okay.
So, and it's actually the three offices, so also Long Beach as well is part of this event. All right, so I want to have Katrina Matthews come up here real quick. Let's give Katrina a round of applause. So we're super excited. How are you? I love this.
Hi, I'm Katrina. Hi. Oh, it's fine. Okay.
I do. So the reason I wanted to have Katrina up here is because she was named Women Leadership Award. So it's a great honor to have, especially at KW Agents. So I wanted her to kind of share her journey of what transpired, but ultimately to share the awesomeness of what she encountered in a few weeks ago. So yeah, tell us a little bit. Yes.
Hi, thank you. So I was I actually was with a lot of different brokers and KW twice now. And when I came back to KW this time around, I was actually coming from Rolling Hills Estate, where I was a manager for one of their biggest real estate companies there. And the reason why I decided to come back to KW was for a couple of reasons. One, I had been all the way around town and I know the different brokers. And two, and I saw how they worked. And two, I trusted Simon and Natalie to handle my transactions when I was out getting more transactions. And so I think one of the first things Natalie said when I came back and they were transferring all my listings over was, don't worry, we have her back here. And so that email stuck with me forever and a day, because I thought like they absolutely do. And that's the reason why I came back from management position over to KW. So fast forward to now. So since then, I've been helping clients, obviously, and I was lucky enough to have the LA Times do a story on me a couple of years ago in regards to the mortgage prices that went on. And I just kept my head down and kept working. And now this year, the LA Business Journal tapped me on the shoulder and said, hey, you're being recognized for what you're doing in real estate and we want to honor you. And I said, oh, whatever, like your thing. And I mean, I'm working and I'm doing interviews with them. Yeah, this is, yeah, and this and this. And I think I was able to reach out to a couple of people, including Simon and many councilwomen from St. Torrance, and people in chambers. And I said, hey, I'm being elected for some award. I don't know what it is. Do you mind if you say a couple of words on my behalf? And I didn't think I was going to get anybody, but sure enough, everybody came pouring in with all of this support. Mayors of cities, commissioners, and I'm just like, what? Okay, I probably should pay attention to this. And so we submitted all of their comments, and I just thought I was just doing a good job. Even other realtors were like, oh yeah, I just worked with her, and holy shit, like this was. We could have never got it done. And I'm like, yeah, but this is what we do. But you don't realize that this is what you do. It really affects people and their livelihood and their lifestyles. And so we're just keeping our head down and working, right? And ultimately, when this whole thing dropped, they were like, well, okay, we have all your information. Okay, whatever. Then they came back to me a week later and said, we looked at all of your information that was submitted and you're certified, like you're certified, you're in. We want you to attend this award ceremony. Whatever. Sure, I'll be there. And so then you don't think it's gonna happen to you, right? You're like, yeah, sure, whatever, it's gonna happen. And then they contact me 2 weeks later and say, by the way, there's 500 people in this category and you're one of our finalists. And we only have 4 finalists. Then I'm like, oh, I probably should get a dress. And so took a day off, and if this story is going somewhere, I took a day off and I went to, because I'm an LA girl, so I went to Santee Alley. Bring it on, right? Anybody know where Santee Alley is? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I go to Santee Alley and I'm all, it's funny, right? I go all day and I'm walking and I see this little number. And I'm like, okay, sure. This is very bold. This is a statement we're making here, right? Yeah. I am a realtor, right? And I saw the pictures from last year awards and everybody were in suits and ties and they're all stuffy. Does she make the statement? So I get this dress and I said, I better go to Macy's, So I get the $500 dress from Macy's as well. That was the whole thing, right? All night I'm tossing and turning. Does she make the statement? Does she wear the Macy's dress? What does she do? And I go, well, shit, I'm a finalist in this award. She makes the statement. So I walk into this award ceremony. Everybody's like, and I'm like, and I'm looking for my friends who were also there, and I'm standing in the corner, I'm texting on my phone, being all weird and just introverted. And I look up and this lady starts talking to me and exchange information. Another lady, ends up being the head of the American Cancer Society, ends up being the head of the support. Like everybody ends up being the head of something. And I said, damn, did I make the right statement, right? So I bring this to say, I did get the finalist award and I'm going to show you here. Yeah. So this is just being nominated. And then also a complete written up newspaper, and apparently it dropped today. So my name and information all through it. And then Simon put up so this is the award we have for being for 500 people.
That is so cool.
Yeah. But I say all this to say this, and I will leave you with this. When you have an opportunity to make your statement in your life, in your real estate career, don't be all of those who are in the button-up suit, because you are going to be standing in a very long line of people. You make your own line in your business and how you do things. Don't follow the crowd, you follow your own way when it comes to your destiny and how you want to do your real estate career. If everybody is doing black, you do red. If everybody's doing orange, you do green. You do something else to make yourself stand out. Not only that, stop with all of your limited beliefs, telling you can't, you won't, you shouldn't, your parents are saying it, your sisters are saying it, your cousins are saying it, there's people who are always going to tell you what you can't do. But the interesting thing about it is that they don't sleep in your bed at night, unless they're they don't make your dreams, they don't pay your mortgage, they don't drive your car, they're not there in the Starbucks line with you, they're not there racing, they're not doing any of that. You're doing this. The chance of you being born was in the billions, and the fact that that occurred is such a amazing thing in itself. So you're here for a reason and a purpose. You all came to this meeting, this team meeting today for a reason and a purpose to get something out of it, right? You came for a reason, like you could be doing anything, it's summertime, but here you are. There's a lot of agents who are not here today, a lot of them are asleep, a lot of them are cold calling, knocking on doors, sure, let them do their thing. You do your thing and what works for you, and you don't stop doing it, no matter what anybody ever says. So when you see this happening, oh, she must be new. No, this is 16 years of real estate. This is award after award after award after award. And it's only because I really don't give a crap what anybody else says about anything. I'm on my own path. I do my own thing, and I know I'm doing things ethical and the right way. And as long as I'm doing that, I'm good. So
You're fantastic.
thank you. So that's me. I got 2 awards from 2 just hugely publicized papers. And I'll tell you one last story. There was an agent who worked here a long time ago. And he doesn't work with this company anymore. And he approached me when I was younger and he said, "Hey, you want to join my team?" And I was like, "Okay, what do you have to offer?" And then he explained what he had to offer. And I said, "Okay, well, Mr. I don't think that, I don't have any money, I don't have anything, I don't have any leads, but I don't think that particular thing is gonna work for me." And then he said, "Okay, well, you better get into production soon." And I said, "Wait, but I think the better thing for me is to get my name out first, rather than try to get a no-name person at your door." And I said, "Good luck." And I swear to God, I went back to him 3 weeks later with the LA Times article and said, "Is this good enough for you?" Anyways, I'm going on his listing appointment to take my listings now. Thank you.
Congratulations. Yes.
Appreciate it.
Beautiful. So any of you can be part of this, right? It depends on your journey. So this is Katrina's journey, and we're super excited to be in business with you. And again, congratulations. I know it's heavy.
Yeah, I'm silly and I'm weird and I'm okay with it.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Real estate, you just never know what doors, what opportunities, where it can lead you, right? And this is just one of many accolades that Katrina and a lot of our top agents do, right? And it's rubbing elbows too, right? It's the connections that you make out there as well. So awesome. Congratulations. All right. Any listing pitches, buyer needs, new listings coming soon? Yes, Stephen.
Yes, I have one that I just listed. It is for your developers. It is a lot in Redondo Beach, 3405 Johnston Avenue. There's currently a 2-bedroom, 1-bath fixer-upper on it. Your buyer will need to bring the bulldozer. Okay. There will be a 2-hour viewing window period this Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon. The only reason I'm having it that is because I gotta have everybody sign a waiver before they go in, because there's a big asshole in the middle of the living room, literally, all of it at that point. So Only cash offers will then be due Monday at 5 P.M. 3405 Johnston Avenue, Redondo Beach.
Beautiful.
How much is? How much?
$1,195.
How big is the lot?
Under, just under 8,800 square feet, 8,700 and change.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Steve. Who else? I saw someone else, yeah,
I
Eric.
have a condo in PBE, 2-bed, 2.5 bath, on being Capicina. It's listed for lease at 4,400 or for purchase at 1,395,000. And I have a lease listing in Hermosa Beach, 2-bed, 2-bath, like a block away from the beach for 4,350.
Awesome. How did you get that?
Through my partner.
Awesome. Good. Congrats. Who else? Ellie, yes.
All right, so we have
Speak up a little bit.
we have 2 lots ready for tear down with permits, 2.495, gives us 44 units ready to go. So we possess for each unit to start building. It's gonna be in the market, I have it with a week. And yeah, we have quickest with 2% decisions. In LA, it's a 44 units. It's on 120th Street between Broadway and Main, like right around there. Everything's gonna be in the MLS and also on the.
Thanks, Ellie. Cool. Anyone else? Coming soon, new listings. Next. There. What else? Okay, well, let's go ahead and continue. All right, so I wanted to share with you some broker updates, okay? And we're also going to do a quiz. So let me go ahead and get this set up. And again, I don't have Natalie with me, so bear with me here momentarily. Let's see how this is going. Technology, right? Gotta love it. Okay, if I can, all right, does everyone on Zoom see the trivia maker? All right, I need all of you, if you want to participate, I need you to scan this QR code, please. Okay. Get your phones out. Phones out, scan this code. Okay, I see Eric there, Marissa, Pamela, Nick, Steve, Javier. Awesome. We got 15, 16. I'll give you a few more seconds to register for it, please. It's fun, it's interactive, and you're going to get a kick out of it as well. Yoko, Lily is on there, Mimi, awesome. Patricia, Fred, awesome. Shamika, awesome. Keep it going, keep it going. The more, the better. Okay. Awesome, 24 people. All right. So, as most of you know, we had a due date, June 25th. Remember, I was telling all of you that June 25th was what?
So nice.
Yeah, that all of zip forms were going to be updated, right? June 25th. Well, that has changed. Okay. Now certain forms were pushed till August 17th. There's only a few forms that actually did get revised on zip form, like a purchase agreement. But all of the listing agreements to be in compliance with NAR settlement, the Department of Justice, they had to delay of the release of these forms, okay? So everything now has been pushed to 17th of August, and that is subject to change. That is subject to change. I said it before, and I'm gonna continue saying this, that even, and I have a feeling that there was gonna be a push on June 25th. Okay, and now it's the 17th, all right? So I prepared a couple of questions and a trivia to just get a gauge if you've been paying attention. You guys ready? Are you guys really ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. First question, what date do the practice changes required by NAR settlement go into effect?
It's the 17th.
Okay, all right, let's find out. Okay, so I kind of gave you a hint already, right? Okay, is it August 14th, June 25th, July 1st, or August 17th? Make sure, well, you gotta plug it in. You gotta plug it in into your phone. And you got a few seconds. Okay, if you answered August 17th, guess what? You were right. But I gave you the answer because I wanted to give you that teaser, right? So August 17th, August 17th is the new date, and that again is subject to change. Okay, all of the listing agreements, such as your residential, your commercial, your vacant land, business opportunity listing agreements have all been pushed. Because there's language in there regarding compensation. The buyer representation agreement has also been pushed to August. All right. So good job. Let's see who is who's winning right now. All right. So Sissy, 93 points. Awesome. Hey, Chris Baker's in here too. Next question. Which of these forms outlines the professional relationship with a client who is looking to purchase a home and want compensation the broker will receive from the sale? Okay. Read the question and make sure you answer the correct one. Which of these forms outlines the professional relationship with a client who is looking to purchase a home and what compensation broker will receive from the sale? Okay, is it A, MT, C, MCA, B, BRBC, or D, SIP?
D.
And the answer is your buyer representation and broker compensation agreement, your BRE form, okay? How many answered B?
D.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Just refresh, that's it.
yeah, just
Refresh and it'll say region.
okay, Mindy. Awesome, 160 points. Congratulations, Steve. You're in second place, my friend. Patricia. bluff, and she's on Zoom, I know she's. All right, so good job. Mimi, Steve, and Patricia. Okay, and it's still gonna change, guys. You ready for the next question? All right, here we go. Here we go. Hold on, here we go. Can an agent show a buyer a home without a buyer representation agreement? Okay, is it A, yes, as long as they have a valid real estate license? B, never. C, only immediate family, or D, only at an open house? Say again?
That's not work.
All right, so the answer is C. Okay, and this is, again, just I'm sorry, D. Just for clarity, folks, this is after the NAR settlement, it's not current. Okay. Testing your knowledge from after all of it comes into play. So the answer is the answer is D, open house. Okay, so now with all of the changes of the buyer representation agreement, right? When you're having a conversation with a potential buyer that is wanting to purchase, the relationships is in effect, right? Immediately based on the settlement and the rules and regulations with CRMLS, the California Association of Realtors, you have to now present them with a buyer representation agreement. Okay. So therefore, when it comes to open houses, the consumer is just going to look at the property, right? Well, based on the circumstances, what NAR, CAR is that you're having a real estate conversation, you must have a buyer representation agreement. With that being said, with open houses, it's a little different, okay? Because you don't know if you're going to have that relationship. We don't know if that buyer is going to want to work with you, right? So there's a form that the buyer must fill out when they see one of your open houses. Okay, it's a 1 page, and it's the open house advisory, and it's a non or a agency agreement. That form has also been pushed for August 17th. Okay. Yes, sir.
So I'm close to an open house. They don't have an agent. I have to fill out this form after August.
Yes. Yes. It's no difference than a registry, right? Okay. When they come into your open house that you're hosting, right? You usually will ask, part of the part showing you the property is you must sign in on the registry, right? Well, now it's no difference than during 2020 when we had COVID. Remember the P forms? Yeah. Remember? Been in real estate 4 years ago, right?
Yeah.
The P form was one of the requirements that in order for them to go into the property with a disclaimer, so it was something that we had to have it right. And if you were hosting an open house, right, you were outside of the property and you were letting one family at a time see the property, right? And then you had a big old line of people waiting to see the property, right? Well, it's kind of the same concept now with everything that's going on. You're going to have the buyer sign this agreement. Now, okay, I get it. I'm just kind of giving you some more information as a scenario. Okay, all of this is going to come, and there's going to be tons and tons of questions. Okay, can we force a buyer or seller to sign it? No, absolutely not, right? But if the buyer wants additional information based on the rules and the regulations, we have to have them sign an agreement. Okay,
That
that's
includes
going to be
also a nosy neighbor as well.
100%.
Okay, it's not necessarily a buyer, just a nosy neighbor, because, well, I'm not fine, I just want to see, I don't want to sign anything. Well, I can't let you in unless you then sign this document just with the advisor.
So the only thing you're going to be able to provide is a flyer. Here's all of the information. regard to the problem.
No, letting him see.
Unfortunately, that's the direction, and that's gonna be standard practice for us.
Let's we charge $10 cover charge.
Bar.
Yes, you can.
I'll do shows on the house.
I'll cite the advisor. All right, well, let's go ahead and continue to the next question.
Simon's kicking out, what's the code again?
Can you refresh it or? I don't know how to go back and,
798084.
thank you. Okay, so Aaron, you're on the lead.
Come on, Aaron.
Awesome. Oh, wait, is that? No, Aaron is not on the lead.
It's okay.
1 second, hold on. Lynette is on the lead. 240 points, good job. All right, so the score board is, it's great. So Shamika's in second and Nikki, you're on third place, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Who can cancel the buyer representation and broker compensation agreement? Who can cancel the buyer representation and broker compensation? Is it A, the agent broker, B, both the buyer and the agent broker, or C, the buyer? Please make sure post your answer. Who can cancel the buyer representation and broker compensation agreement? So the answer is both the buyer and the agent broker. Okay, with all the new forms, both the buyer and the agent can mutual cancel the agreements. Okay, and there's a form that says cancellation of broker agreement. Okay, so the answer is both. The buyer doesn't want to continue working with you, they have the right to cancel. Now, I'm not going to go into the details because there's an exclusive and non-exclusive agreement. Okay. And if you were part of the 3-hour class, I broke it down and how that works. All of the forms are non-exclusive. You have to make it by checking an exclusive agreement. Okay. All right. Let's continue. Is this fun?
Yeah.
Okay. Glad to hear that. All right, so Lynette is still on the lead. Congrats. Okay, next question. If the buyer representation and broker compensation shows broker compensation of 2%, and the seller is offering compensation of 2.5% without further negotiations, what amount of commission is owed? Okay. Okay, is it A, 2%, B, 3%, C, 0.5%, or D, 2.5%? Few more minutes. It's 2%. 2%. Any questions? Is that standard practice right now? Why?
Postpone.
No.
Because most times we're not putting the commission on the buyer representation agreement. So we're just going by what's on the MLS.
That is correct, right? You look up on the MLS, right, and it shows 2.5%. Okay. You submit an offer. Your offer gets accepted. Okay. Technically speaking, you're earning a 2.5%. With all of the new changes happening, and more so having a buyer representation agreement that says that you are asking 2% from the buy side, and you submit an offer, and you're going through negotiations, okay? And under paragraph G3 of the purchase agreement, if you check it, that you do have a buyer agreement with the buyer, full transparency, full disclosure, the listing agent as part of the negotiations can ask for a copy of your agreement with the buyer. Okay? But based on the rules and regulations with NAR, it stipulates that if it's 2% that the seller is offering you, but the buyer, excuse me, my apologies, if it's 2% that the, if it's 2% that the buyer is responsible to pay you a compensation, and the listing agent and the seller are paying 2.5%, that 0.5% doesn't automatically go to the buyer with the new rules. Okay? And I heard this at Long Beach. Well, that's not fair. If the seller is already going to give us that extra percentage, doesn't that typically go to the buyer? Well, now, yes, but after the settlement and everything on August 17th, that's not the case. How do you earn that additional compensation? Yes, Joe. Okay. Putting it in the offer, but also the answer to this question is you modify the buyer representation agreement. Okay. You know that it's 2.5, you're going to immediately modify the buyer representation agreement that now stipulates from 2% to 2.5%.
So that's before you submit your offer.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. If you know there's compensation, okay? Because remember, based on what we're hearing, the MLS is going to eliminate the cooperating compensation agreement, right? But there's also now, and it's in effect, when you have a listing, there's now a tier of concessions. And that tier of concessions allows the listing agent, if the seller is willing to compensate you, to put an amount for that purpose. And it's 3 parts, okay? If the seller is willing to pay concessions, what is the percentage or flat fee of that concession? And what is the total amount, flat fee or a percentage monetary? Does that make sense? Okay. So it's not going to show on the MLS, but when you're doing your research, it's going to say that the seller is considering or will consider giving compensation. Yes, sir.
This is why now SPBB, Form SPBB, that has been around now for close to a year, where almost no one has used it. Well, now when you are a buyer's agent, it really will probably end up being to your benefit, especially when you already as a buyer's agent know that the compensation that the seller is offering you as a buyer's agent is in excess of what your initial buyer representation agreement is. Right. So at that point, you then have time to be able to modify your buyer representation agreement, but then now also fill in SPBB. Again, that's where seller pays buyer obligation for the commission and submit that right with the offer. You know, that represents the equivalent of what that seller was already willing to be paid.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks, Steve. All right, let's continue. All right, 367. She's still on the lead. All right, congratulations. All right, next question. Does the buyer representation agreement need to be approved by an agent's broker or office manager to be binding? Okay, simple. It's either a yes or a no. Does the buyer representation agreement need to be approved by an agent's broker or office manager to be binding? Please make sure you put your answer. The answer is no. Okay. The question here is binding, all right? Now, there is specific language on the buyer representation agreement that says broker manager approval within 5 days of execution, okay? So, but that's not what the question says. The question is it binding, right? If we feel no difference in the current listing agreement, if there's something wonky that we are not approving, we have the right to cancel that listing with your client. And that's going to also go with the buyer representation agreement. Now, with that being said, you know, we as a company have a cap system, right? So after you pay company dollars and you cap, your commissions are now 100%, right? What you do after that? Up to you. You want to charge $1? Okay, that's perfectly fine, right? So it's still not part of the policy. So we're kind of in the mercy of CAR, the local boards, NAR to kind of get further instructions. All that's going to change with even the company policy as well. Okay. All right, let's continue. All right, Alicia, she's now 454. Where's Alicia at? There she is. Awesome. Congrats. Okay, next question. What does broker involvement mean? What does broker involvement mean? It's easier said than done. Is it A, the agent providing a flyer? Is it B, the buyer physically enters and was shown the property by the agent? Is it C, the agent sends the buyer a list of properties? Or is it D, the agent called the buyer to give information on the property? Okay. What is considered broker involvement? The answer is, okay. So broker involvement means the buyer physically entered and was shown the property by the agent. Now, that's just one of many, okay? So this is not just a one time, there's other variables that now the buyer agent can be paid a compensation if you were involved. Just the mere fact of giving a consumer a flyer doesn't necessarily mean that you're entitled to commission if that buyer ends up buying the property. This is why it ties up with the buyer representation agreement, the importance of aligning every paper trail to say this is the reason you should be paid a commission. Okay? Because the current standard of practice, most of us don't have a buyer representation agreement. We're in the wins and we just submit an offer and hope that we get paid a commission. But then we have a lot of agents that have been working with their buyers for weeks and weeks and weeks, and sometimes for months. And then that buyer ends up going to an open house. Whatever they say amongst the agent and your client, they're in escrow now. And then I get that call, hey Simon, I need to get paid my commission. Just tell me more. Well, you know, my client ended up buying a property in escrow. Okay, did you have a buyer? I only say, did you have a buyer representation agreement? It's going to be very tough for me to, you know, find and help you earn a commission. Okay, that's why we have these documents. Okay, that's why we have the documents to help you and support you to try to collect a commission. All right, let's continue. All right, she's still on top, 497. Congratulations. All right, let's continue. Next question. Can a listing agent hold an open house after the implementing the NAR settlement. Okay? Okay, again, can a listing agent hold an open house after implementing the NAR settlement? Is it a yes or is it a no? Make sure to put your answer. Got a few seconds. Is yes, you can. Okay.
What made you ask this question?
Because there's a lot of confusion of everything that's going on, and just wait for the follow-up question that I have here. Okay. The reason I asked this question, Steve, is because there's still uncertainty of what agents are going to be able to do or not do, right? And this information is straight from CAR. This is not even me thinking. This is something that I pulled from CAR. Okay, they're the ones that are getting these type of questions. Okay. All right. Alicia, you're still on top. 594. Congratulations.
Just for the record, I've been locked out here since like third question.
All right, here it goes. Can another agent in the same brokerage as the listing agent hold an open house for the listing agent? Okay.
Okay, and another.
Oops. Okay. Pretty self-explanatory, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The answer is yes, you can. So it's basically, what the question is, if I'm the listing agent and Steve wants to host an open house on my listing, yes, you can. Okay. Now I'm going to throw a wrench. What if it's a different brokerage? What if it's a different brokerage, not a KW, and they call you, hey, I am with ABC Realty. I see the property you have listed on 123 ABC. Would it be possible for me to host an open house on your listing this coming Saturday? Is that allowed?
You're talking about based on the settlement.
Based on the new settlement.
I think so.
Who say yes?
Yes.
Okay, who say no? Who says, I don't know the answer? Okay, so the answer is, yes, you can. Okay, yes, you can. Now, it's based on company policy. Each brokerage may have their own interpretation because of their E&O insurance may not allow. That's why when you call for opportunities, some brokerages say, well, I'm sorry, we can't, we're not allowed to. So therefore, it's not allowed. But it's been a standard practice where agents from different brokerages can host other agents' open houses. And it's been the same case here with this office. Yeah, even after this settlement, yes. And again, it's all subject to change. Yes. very cool, very good. Well, what did you guys think? Was that fun? All right, awesome. Let's go ahead and continue. Is Chris here? He was? There he is. All right.
Where's Fred at? Congratulations, Fred.
Thank you, sir.
All the way in the back. Well, okay, so I'll start off with bad news, talk about rates.
Oh, no, what happened?
Nothing, just there. We're not doing anything. So conventional loans are approximately 7%, depending on FICO score, 7 to 7.25. Government loans, though, are down about 6.25, 6 and 8. So it's really a good option, especially if you're looking at a condo, because conventional loans will have a condo hit, so that'll push that rate up to about 7.38, so 7.5, depending on FICO score. There's no hit on FHA. You still get it at 6.25. We can't do spot approval, so if you're looking at condos, we can still do FHA loans, even though they're not FHA approved, we can do the spot approvals. So wanted to get that out of the way because they're what they are, right? But there is anticipation they are going to go down. Probably not until about October. That's kind of what the census is now. Well, there's reports coming out from some of the Fed governors. There's been 2 more that have said that they think they should start to decrease rates sooner than later, which is good verbiage. So hopefully it will happen this year at least once, but definitely in 2025. So that's the bad news. The good news is the market's still on fire. You guys know that. I read a lot of pre-approval letters, and we're just up against a lot of competition. It's really just the scarcity of properties out there, although that's starting to pick up as well. Just from my own eye test, I can see when I'm driving around more open houses, so that's a good sign. And then I wanted to let you know the grant program, that $50,000 grant program is now suspended. Can't take any more applications in. It just got gobbled up really quick. We thought it would last about a month and a half, 2 months. Only lasted a month. But it was a great program. It is. I mean, $50,000 for free for your closing costs and down payment. They're trying to work on another one to try to get it out later in the year, possibly first part of next year. But stay tuned. Hopefully, we'll have something in the next few months for you. And then I wanted to talk about a program that I came here and explained to you guys a couple of weeks ago, or actually a couple of months ago. It was a cross collateralization where we will cross collateralize 2 properties for them to be able to buy. And really what it is buying before you sell. You guys know a lot of sellers right now that have a ton of equity, but the problem is they have to sell it to get the money out for their purchase up, right? They don't want to sell. There's a lot of reasons why they don't want to sell. And so what do? We try to do a HELOC and pull cash out, but now you're in a debt to income ratio issue potentially because now you take on more debt and you got to cover both mortgages. Well, this cross collateralization loan is pretty insane. In fact, we may be getting into escrow on our first deal today. This is the way it's going to work. This client has a SFR, $850,000 that's free and clear. They don't want to sell, but they need the money because they can't really qualify for a big loan. But they want to buy in Redondo Beach for 1.2. So the calculation is just 850 is their current property. The new one is 1.2. So you add them together, that's $2,050,000, but we'll say 2 million for example. At $2 million total collateralization or asset base, they go 75% of that, which is 1.5. That's the most exposure the lender will allow. It's 1.5. They try to buy 1.2. So guess what? Zero down. This client can get that 1.2 property with no money down. That's pretty crazy. And then when they qualify, they're qualifying based on the after. Meaning they're going to sell their current home and take $800,000 out of it, apply it to the mortgage. They only have to qualify for a $400,000 loan. And they just bought a 1.2 property, zero down, and they bought it before they sold their property.
You got a marketing flyer on this?
Yes, I do.
You have a marketing flyer yet?
Yes, I do. If you guys hit me up, I actually have a whole presentation for you guys. And it even has a worksheet in there so you can do it. And here's even better. So the rate on it is 7%. That's what they're gonna get for 1.2, which is 100% financing, which is insane. 7%. And then once they pay down their loan, because they sold their whole property, and now they have a $400,000 loan, that interest rate is reduced by a quarter point, so it's 6.75, and the loan is automatically recast. So they don't even have to refund. It will just lower the interest rate, recast the monthly payment, and there it is, they're done. And that's how they can buy before they sell. You guys know a lot of people like that in your databases that have a ton of equity and they want to buy, but they can't because they have to sell first. They'll give you all the reasons why they can't sell, right?
Does that work for VA loans as well?
No, it's a conventional, strictly conventional, right?
The 30-year fixed then?
Yes, well, the remaining term. So it's not 30 years, it's whatever the remaining term is. So if they sell it after 3 months, let's say, so there's 357 months left. That's what it's recast.
What is the time frame that they have to sell their current property?
Within 6 months, that's it. Yeah, and they just, it's really a great program. I mean, and they just lowered the rates. I mean, we're gonna get into one right now. Again, they're buying 1.2 with 0 down. And they're qualifying at a $400,000 loan. That's it. And they're gonna get their end financing right in the beginning. It's just a great program. So anyway, if you guys want more information, hit me up. I will send it out to you. Again, there's a worksheet, really easy worksheet. You can just put in both values and then hit it by 75%. That's how you max exposure. And then you just deduct whatever they owe on their current property. And that's how much money they will allow to be used for the next purchase. So,
Awesome.
okay.
Thank
Very good.
All right. All right, real quick, upcoming events. Upcoming events. Please, please, please do not leave right after our team meeting. I have the wonderful Marie Hoffman coming in and giving us some insight of love your life, love your region, and the art of pricing right. So if you want to get some valuable insights on what they're doing, please stick around. It's going to be in a few seconds. Okay. This Friday, Producers Club with guest speaker Nina. She'll be on this Friday's call, 8 o'clock. And KW Health Family Hike, Sunday, July 7th, 9:30. That's going to be at the Victory Trailhead out in William Hills, if you want to go out to the valley. And that concludes our team meeting. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Stick around if you want to stretch, you want to get some water. I believe there's still some food. Come right back. Because we got Hoffman, Murphy's team, and Marie Hoffman here. Thank you. Okay. All right, anyone on Zoom, stick around. We have Marie Hoffman right now. Can we talk about let's fix it. You want the water? Awesome. So